Following on from the previous two videos, if you were to rotate it along the x minus 1 axis, it would give you a volume of roughly this. Okay, so now we in this video we're going to consider rotating it along this axis here. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to sum up all the cylinders. So we're going to sum up all the cylinders here. So we're going to rotate it along the y equals minus 1 axis. So if you look at this cylinder here, so you've got to use your imagination here. We're going to rotate it 360 along this axis. So it's going to give us something like this. It's going to give us a cylinder looking something like this. Okay, and then for this is the bottom of the cylinder here. So when you rotate it along along this axis here, it's going to look something like this. So the height, this length here is the same as this length here. Okay, so this is our cylinder here. Okay, so hang on. So we are going to sum up all the cylinders. So you summing up all the cylinders would be you taking the integral from 0 to 2. So from 0 to 2. And if we look at this one particular cylinder here, the thickness associated with this cylinder here will be, well, you're moving along the y direction, so it will be, the thickness will be dy. So our integral will be something dy. Okay. So now we need to know the circumference of this circle here. The circumference of this circle would be 2 pi r. But what is r? R is the radius from here to here. So what is this length here? Because this r here is this r. So we need to find out the radius here from here to here. So the radius here would be, hang on, don't forget you're integrating it. So you're moving along here. So the radius at this one particular point here would be, well, don't forget you're moving in the y direction. So you're moving along in the y direction. The radius here would be y. This height here will be y, and then from here to here is 1. So the radius will be 1 plus y. So the radius will be 1 plus y, or y plus 1. So this is 2 pi r, and this r here is this thing here. This here will give us the circumference. Okay, and then we need to know once we've got the circumference. So hang on. So we're summing up all the cylinders. So let's just look at this one particular cylinder here. It will have a radius. It will have a circumference looking something like this. Hang on. So we now have the circumference. Okay. We now have the circumference, which is given by this. We now have the circumference. So now we need to find out. We need to times it with the length, with this length here. Well, this length here will be this length here will be, well, it will be. Hang on. So we now need to know this whole length here. This whole length here. Well, don't forget you're integrating. You're moving along the y-axis. So let's just look at this one particular y value here. This one particular y value. So we need to know the length from here to here. So at this particular y value here, this length here only, this length here, from here to here, this length here, at this particular y value here, this length here will be y squared over 2. So this is the length here, and then this length here will be y squared, y to the power of 4, take away 2y squared over 4. This here will be this length here. Okay, so if you want to know the total length here, it will be this this take away this thing here. So it will be this take away this thing here. Okay. The reason it is a takeaway because when you're here, this thing here will be a negative number. This whole bubble here will be a negative, and then you got a negative take away a negative, so it becomes a. It's kind of confusing, but this here is a negative. Okay, so if you sum up all the cylinders, it will then take you to this stage here. Okay, and then our knowledge of integration is still very weak. So let's break up everything. So break this into one thing. That would be this, and then this thing here. Break it into this thing here, and then blah blah blah. Um, um, blah blah blah. Multiply this out, um, and multiply this out. It will then take you to here, and then it's blah 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 all the way down here, and it will give you a volume of this. So this here is bigger than our previous method. So hang on. So rotating it along here, rotating along this axis will give you a bigger volume than rotating it along this axis. Okay, So rotating it along this axis here will give us a bigger volume than rotating it along this axis here. Okay.